don't wish, don't regret. Do what you want and do it now, because now is all that we have. So the plan is to ride to Krishnagiri, stop at Sarvana Bhavan and enjoy one of our favorite breakfasts there. Oh, there's Griff. Perfect timing. Lovely to ride with my buddies. Griff in front on his Africa Twin and Sridhar right there on his Tiger. Fair bit of traffic around in this part, but an opportunity to practice some engine braking. I've fallen in love with the Chennai sambar. Sambar, the chutney, tomato onion chutney, both the chutneys. Super. Good morning folks, welcome to another Sunday ride. I must confess I've been getting a little irregular with my rides, with the longer rides especially. I do take the motorcycle out every once in a while, but because of some travel, I was in Chennai last week, I couldn't ride. My longish rides, when I say longish, I'm happy if I get a 200-kilometer ride these days. But those sort of rides, I think the frequency seems to have come down a bit, and I'm hoping I can correct it soon. So the last longish ride was on the Himalayan, where I did 240 kilometers on a weekday because I couldn't ride on a Sunday. And I rode to Bannur, very close to Mysuru, just about 20 or 30 kilometers outside Mysuru. So on the way we stopped in Kanakpura, had the Vasu Hotel Masal Dosa, which is very popular. And then of course our destination was Ramaswamy Military Hotel in Bannur. So both the episodes are up on the channel already. If you haven't caught it yet, I'm going to place links in the description below and also perhaps up here. So today the plan is to ride to Krishnagiri, one of our favorite routes to ride on. And it's going to be a very tight group, just Sridhar in front of me on the Tiger, and we should meet Griff and his Africa Twin sometime soon. So the plan is to ride to Krishnagiri, enjoy the ride to Krishnagiri rather, stop at Sarvana Bhavan and enjoy one of our favorite breakfasts there, and then turn back. So that's what this moto vlog will be all about. Beautiful, pleasant Bengaluru weather, cloudy sky, the sun's hidden well behind the clouds, gentle breeze, just the sort of weather that spoils us here in Bengaluru. The time is 7:12 AM. The sun is doing its best to peep out from behind the clouds. That's a bright LED on that Pulsar, or Dominar, sorry. My apologies all you Dominar folks. Enjoying this. In a manner of speaking, one is one with the motorcycle now. It's been a couple of weeks since I rode the Fat Boy, and a longish ride of sorts where you can just cruise. I think we're cruising at about 60-70 or so. It's been a while since I've been able to do this, enjoy the weather, and it just feels so good. The motorcycle is humming very nicely. Engine's revving at about 1600-1700 RPM. No hurry at all. Sridhar is setting the pace out in front. He's not letting that needle budge, a bit over 80, and I'm going to play along behind him, at least on this stretch. So when you're not riding, you miss riding, but you don't realize how much you've missed it until you get back on the motorcycle, right? I've just stepped out of home and I've done barely 14 kilometers, but in these 14 kilometers of cruising, I'm already realizing how much I missed this the last couple of weeks, that I haven't been able to do these longish rides. Always try and make some time for your passion, because that really gets you going. It gets me going, at least. I could have squeezed into that behind Sridhar, but when you are around a truck, heavy traffic like this, remember, they can't really see very well. They have far too many blind spots, notwithstanding those mirrors there. So I think if I squeeze there, I'll be in his blind spot, he won't see me. And if he's in a hurry to exit this traffic light, I could be in trouble. So I'm going to allow him to take all the space he needs without getting in his way. I feel like that bird that is soaring away. That's my frame of mind. Anyways, let's enjoy the ride. It looks like a Diavel behind. Is it one of our buddies, somebody that we know? Ah, that certainly is a Diavel, but not someone that we know. Nice. A Ducati Diavel. Of course, we all have brands that we love, that we perhaps dream of, but at the end of the day, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. When I'm on the Himalayan, I'm enjoying that motorcycle for what it is. And when I'm on the Fat Boy, I'm enjoying the Fat Boy too. I think what's important is the spirit of motorcycling, of getting out on the road, enjoying the machine, enjoying the experience, the journey, the camaraderie, your fellow motorcyclists, and all of that. I think that is what is important. And I think if you're a true motorcyclist, the brand really doesn't matter. Yes, if you have it, fantastic. But if you don't have the brand that you crave or that you are passionate about, you'll probably get it someday, but enjoy whatever it is you're doing now, whatever it is you're riding now. And I think at a certain level, that also is so true of so many things in life. We are always focused on things that we don't have. We are always focused on what we will perhaps have, or we would like to have, what we would like to do, etc. in the future. But you know, the last couple of years, nearly 2 years now, since this pandemic began, I think the one lesson that it has taught us is to appreciate what you have now. Because at the end of the day, all that you have is now, is this moment. Tomorrow, who knows? Later, who can predict? So therefore, I think it's important to enjoy, to savor, to indulge in what you have for the present and the now. Whether it's a motorcycle or life in general. You never know, God forbid, if life changes the way you knew it. And at that time, one only has regret. I wish I had done that. I wish I had not said that. I wish I was closer to my family. I wish I had spent more time with them. I wish I had gone out on a motorcycle ride. I wish I had done things that made me happy. Don't wish, don't regret. Do what you want and do it now, because now is all that we have. Oh, there's Griff. Perfect timing. Nice to catch up for a bit of a chat with Griff and Sridhar, and we're off to Krishnagiri. Let's go. Nearing it. I think we spent about half an hour there. It's been a while since we caught up, so there's always something to chat about. Motorcycles, travel, and life in general. Some time ago I spoke about the thought of riding the other motorcycles, my friends' motorcycles, and motovlogging about it. Still on my mind, but I just haven't been able to find the time to ride my motorcycles. Leave alone ride other motorcycles, but who knows. Well, there's a tractor enjoying the drive, driving at 40 in the fastest lane on the highway. Well, everybody has aspirations. I think whenever you get out of the toll, I think that's when you experience the most traffic, and you just want to get away from it all really quickly. My god, how many wheels on this one? Any guesses? But that's also when you tend to get impatient and you may make mistakes. So take it easy. Deal with that traffic. About 5-10 minutes, you'll be in a much better place. Rather than get angry, impatient, and make an error of judgment. Whenever I find too many things on the road, I tend to slow down. I call them variables. The truck, the van, the motorcycle, the scooter, all of them are variables. I can't hope to control them. I don't know what's going to change when. So whenever you have too many variables on the road, be extra cautious. You don't know which way somebody's going to turn, who's going to brake. You know, anything can happen. So therefore, whenever I see too many things on the road, I always slow down. Lovely to ride with my buddies. Griff in front on his Africa Twin and Sridhar right there on his Tiger. Mildly sunny, but there's still a cool breeze that's blowing against us. I can hear Griff's pipes. I don't know if he's changed it. It's got a bit of a throaty sound to it. How much do you have? How much can you go?
200 kilometers. I can go for another 50-something kilometers.
Yeah, so what we can do is, if you can go 50-70 kilometers, we can go to Sarvana Bhavan, and on the way back there's another Sarvana Bhavan petrol bunk right after Krishnagiri. When we come back, we can fill there. Well, we decided against spending time there to fuel up. Getting sunny now, so we might as well get to Sarvana Bhavan, relax there a bit, spend some time there, and then fuel up on the way back. fair bit of traffic around in this part, but an opportunity to practice some engine braking. Don't use the brakes, downshift to get your engine to slow down for you. Of course, brakes are important when you want to stop suddenly, etc. But if you can plan, you know exactly when you want to slow down a bit, therefore downshift. Also, when you do engine braking, you're in more control of the vehicle when you're braking. Krishnagiri, straight up Sarvana Bhavan. Not the real deal though. So I think the Sarvana Bhavan is a very popular moniker for a restaurant. So the one that began it was Hotel Sarvana Bhavan, of course, Chennai and that part of Tamil Nadu. But out here, there are quite a few who have taken the name. So the one that we are going to is the Pollachi Sarvana Bhavan. We always enjoy our tiffin there, and they have one more here too now. Whether it's the idli, the vadai, the podi dosai, idiyappam, they do a fantastic job. And also it's that perfect 90-100 kilometer sort of a range, depending on where one is riding out from in Bengaluru. So you want to stop, get something to eat, get a cup of coffee. So it works very well in all aspects. And a good bunch of people there. There's Griff on his Africa Twin, a motorcycle without clutch. So I keep asking him, I said, what do you do with your left hand when you're riding? Right? So suddenly you just take this hand, the left hand out of play completely, other than holding the handlebar. Usually you're working the clutch. Right hand is for the accelerator and the brake. So in this case, the left hand is completely free. I went from 80, 90 to about 30 just using engine brakes. Open the throttle a bit on this stretch, just to give the engine a bit of a workout. Get some of those revs up. 2800. That's the RPM at 120. That's the beauty of this engine. It generates amazing torque without breaking into a sweat. Show me another motorcycle that can do that. And there we are at our Sarvana Bhavan.
One masala dosa, ഒരു സാമ്പാർ വട.
ಮಸಾಲೆ ದೋಸೆ ಸಾಂಬಾರು ವಡೆ.
Idli vada.
ಇಡ್ಲಿ ವಡ.
ಇಡಿಯಪ್ಪ ತೇಗಪ್ಪ ಅಲ್ರ ಇಡಿಯಪ್ಪ
ಬಾತ್ಕೊಂಡು. The chutney and the oil is phenomenal.
So gingerly oil.
Gingerly oil.
I have fallen in love with the Chennai sambar.
Oh, that's a classic, man.
Like at Sangeeta when I went, this
Sambar in
the
Tamil
sambar,
Nadu is...
the chutney and the tomato onion chutney, both the chutneys, super.
I don't know why taste different in Tamil Nadu.
Sambar.
Tamil Nadu sambar is, I think it's that ram sambar, very different flavor.
So I think there's a lot of the masala that they use, and there's no sweetness in the sambar.
Stick to the
Drumstick and the onion.
onion. That makes the
Big difference. Especially the
No
rum.
bella.
No bella, yeah. And also the asafoetida, at least the one that I tasted in Sangeeta, was a little, you can taste that asafoetida.
The kayam is strong.
The hingu.
Every state in the south, right, has its own distinct sambar. You go to Kerala, maybe it's not as thick, but it's got a lot more of the drumstick.
Sambar.
You want something?
Thank you.
Ghee dosa or idiyappam?
So I want to have breakfast and then go. I'll take the early morning train from Trivandrum.
You're saying even the local Malu joints are not there?
Yeah, Malu join. They'll have bhaji and this thing. No idli, dosa,
For breakfast, you mean?
breakfast.
But you'll find a lot of tea shops where you can have appam, no?
I don't know. I couldn't find.
I guess if you're a vegetarian, it would be difficult. There's appam and egg and paratha and beef and all for
I
breakfast,
used to
right?
eat non-veg.
Yeah?
For lunch, I will tell the auto driver,
Take me somewhere.
best restaurant, big restaurant, take me there. And you won't get white rice. Nowadays,
rice.
everywhere they
Matta.
give mota.
Matta. See the matta or the kurwa?
What is kurwa?
Kurwa is another rice, calicut. Same, boiled rice.
Really?
only.
Oh, kudua, is it?
I mean, I went to this Amma fish hotel and all that. This is the kurwa rice.
How will your Calicut experience? I want to go to Calicut.
Super.
I want to go and just a culinary experience.
Most amazing food.
So it's very different from the rest of Kerala, you know? Calicut cuisine.
It's very different from South Kerala. And, you know, also the amalgamation, right? So there's
Your
the
Mapala food.
Hindu community, the Muslim community, the Christians.
Right.
So I think that amalgamation has happened beautifully.
Yeah, filter coffee. Sugar separate, strong from Kerala all the way to Goa. The influence of the Portuguese is so strong. Certain dishes that you find like bebinka, that you find in Goa, you find in Kerala as well, right? I mean that style of dessert.
So when you appreciate those nuances, then you appreciate the dish because you know what's gone into it, you know why, etc. Speaking of Portuguese food, there's this restaurant in Goa, in the Portuguese quarters. It's called Horseshoe. There's a guy called Vasco Silveira. He's been running this restaurant for the last 30 years. The restaurant has no wait staff, no cooks except him.
Really?
These are the plans. He makes the dish and he comes and serves you. And when you speak to him, you know, like the feijoada and those kind of things, you know, we know the vindaloo and all that, but if you go there, he's got a menu of 30 things. Only Portuguese. So there are, you know, there's so many things like this that is there in this country.
September, I'm planning a trip with Ganesh, no Chennai guy.
So where are you going?
Planning to go to Kutralam.
Oh, Kutralam.
How far is it?
From Madurai, it's some 150
Kodai, no?
years
Next to
something.
Kodai, right? On the way to.
No, Kodai, before Madurai you take a right. You go past Madurai towards Tirunelveli on the way.
Good coffee.
Good.
Some decoction will be nice.
Festival
But
follows.
if you ride one of the ADVs, you'll also realize at 70, 80, it's nothing.
That's
15,
why
20
so I asked him to go ahead now. I sweep. That's what I did. But towards the end, I wanted to open the motorcycle. So I just, that last stretch, once you cross Krishnagiri,
Yeah.
you want to just
That is enough.
open the pipes. On the Fat Boy, you can go all the way from 50, 60 to 140,
In that 1 year.
160. In that one year.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I thought was very interesting.
And the best thing is at 120, when I crossed this thing, what's your engine at? At 120, your engine is at 2800 RPM.
That's smooth.
I mean, you can open up the torque entirely, but that engine is so smooth.
Just keeps up with it.
So that's why you don't get tired. Otherwise, in some of the other motorcycles,
Vibrations.
the vibrations, they tire you. Here you don't. So I've decided, I said, even at some point, you know, maybe I'll pick up a ADV or whatever, but I'll keep this Fat Boy. Well, that was nice. Nice breakfast, nice conversation with Sridhar and Griffith at Sarvana Bhavan. It's 10 o'clock now. Left home at close to 7, 3 hours. An hour to ride back. So should be home by 11. And we would have done about 186 kilometers by then. So not bad at all for a Sunday morning ride on the Fat Boy. You can see Griff coming from a mile. Look at his lights. going to be a peaceful ride all the way back home. So folks, I think that's it for this vlog. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and like, share with your family and friends. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, the Kripal Amana channel, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.